Welcome to Silverstone, home of Formula One racing in Great Britain, where shortly we're expecting the cars to appear for today's practice session. Anthony Davidson, you've driven this circuit more than a few times in your career, and you've been around long enough to remember the Prix wing layout as well. But how do you like Silverstone in its current guise?
Well, the old circuit was a lot of fun, of course, but I do like the current layout. The reprofiled Abbey is faster than it used to be, and I always felt it was missing a sort of slow technical section. And now the corners up at Village and the Loop gives us that. So yeah, I'm a fan, and on top of that, I think it's created some more overtaking opportunities.
What's up, YouTube land? Xeno Gaming back here for the, I believe, 9th episode of my 2018 career mode. We're here today at the British Grand Prix, and we're going to get straight into qualifying for the British Grand Prix here at Silverstone.
Here we are then, waiting for the green lights to get qualifying underway for the British Grand Prix. This is a track that tends to ask quite a lot of the tyres, both front and rear. So is it fair to say a great deal of management will be needed in order to do well here?
Tyre wear is always something you have to consider to a certain degree. Finding a good car balance that suits the circuit will help prolong the life of the tyre, but it's true that some circuits, such as this one, are more challenging than others. How hard you can push them depends on your strategy and how tight the battle is around you.
Welcome to qualifying here for the British Grand Prix. Now this is the end of our run, first lap in Q1, 1 minute 29.5, not our best lap considering what Ricardo's doing there, 2 seconds quicker, so this was definitely more time to improve. And then on the second lap, same set of tyres in Q1, coming in across the line half a second quicker, 6/10 almost actually, and to get into 1 minute 28, which was a decent lap. We still could improve. And then our last set of tyres in Q1, we used another, our next set, and went another half a second quicker. So that worked out well, and we were managed to get through to Q2 here at Silverstone. I hadn't played the game in over a week, and it was definitely feeling odd. But anyway, Gasly, Van Dorn, Hartley, Stroll and Sorokin all out and eliminated in Q1. Good to see that both the Sauber cars into Q2. Now here's our first lap in Q2. We started a lap with Sebastian Vettel behind us, and he's caught us halfway through the lap. He's trying to overtake us into Copse, and we kind of close the door off, but both of us lose time on our flying laps, and we eventually come across to finish the lap with a 29.1. So, and he goes and he finally overtakes us into turn 1 here. Unfortunately, we couldn't get a clean lap in, so on our next lap in Q2, finding more space, but we lose the back end here on the same set of tyres, and we were 6/10 up. We were really much quicker, and we make a bad mistake here. Now to start the next lap, the big tanks up, the last lap, our last chance in Q2 to get through to Q3, coming into turn 1. Already had a poor start to the lap, coming to turn 1, using all the space, but with the back end just slides on Romano, and Romano's put it in the wall at turn 2, and disappointing. He just did not get his laps right in Q2. 2 big mistakes, and that will mean he starts 15th for the British Grand Prix, with his teammate Leclerc qualifying him in 13th, Grosjean 11th, Magnussen 12th, and Fernando Alonso in P14. We'll now hand it over to David Croft for the race introduction.
We're right back where it all began. The very first World Championship Grand Prix was held here at Silverstone in 1950, with Giuseppe Farina taking the top step of an all-Alfa Romeo podium. He earned 9 championship points that day on his way to the inaugural title. His winning total at the season's end, just 30 points. My, how times have changed. So let's see who can reach the top step of the modern podium today. Straddling the border of Northamptonshire and Buckinghamshire, the 18 corners of the Silverstone circuit form the 3.6-mile beating heart of Formula One. It's been reinvented over the years, with turn 1 now the fast right-hander of Abbey, along with 2 DRS zones on the Wellington and Hanger straights respectively. But the magic of racing is as strong here as it's ever been. With me today, of course, is Anthony Davidson. Let's talk about Force India. What do you make of their performance so far this season?
Well, the atmosphere within that team seems very positive at the moment. Everyone seems like they're in great spirits and having a lot of fun doing what they do, and that's definitely contributed to the performances we've seen.
Well then, after an exciting qualifying session yesterday, let's take a look at how the cars line up. Sebastian Vettel has a clear track ahead of him today. He starts in pole position, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Bottas, Raikkonen, Carlos Sainz, and Ricciardo, Hülkenberg, Perez, Ocon, and Max Verstappen. They've taken a grid penalty. Grosjean, Magnussen, Charles Leclerc and Alonso. The captain, Gasly, Stoffel Van Dorn and Brendan Hartley. Stroll and Sergei Sirotkin rounds off the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Keep your eyes open on the run to turn 1 and keep it clean. We want to come out in one piece. Good luck.
Welcome today here to the 2018 British Grand Prix here at Silverstone. As you just briefly saw there, the strategy is I want to stop today from the soft tyre to the medium tyre. I hope you guys all enjoy the race today. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this one. Now we're ready for the start of the British Grand Prix here today at Silverstone for the whatever 50th edition of the Silverstone Grand. I'm not really too sure. Anyway, 5 red lights. And it's go for the British Grand Prix. A good start for Alonso, nowhere to really go. He tries to go in between Magnussen and Leclerc, can't do it. And Romano goes around the outside of Fernando. Fernando comes back at him, bit of contact, bit more contact there through turn 2, but Romano finds his position. Dives up the inside of Leclerc and Magnussen closes the door very harshly. And he's a bit of contact there between Romano and Magnussen. But
Be careful with the front wing, you've taken some minor damage.
Romano slots into P13. And he's got his teammate Charles Leclerc all over the back of him. And now, heading into the first lap, he's got horrible understeer already as he struggles to make the corner. Especially this one here, the long right-hander.
Confirmed, we'll receive you at the end of this lap.
Already at the end of the first lap, Romano's had enough of this front wing. And unfortunately for Chris Romano, he's coming into the pits to change the front wing and put on a set of the hard tyres, and he's having to put on the hard tyres so he can get to the end of the Grand Prix. Not ideal for Chris Romano.
Complete, go now.
Really unfortunate situation that Magnussen. Anyway, here is a big slide at the end of the first lap on the hard tyres. They are really not the best tyre, and just getting used to the game. The qualifying session and race session I did on 2 different days.
DRS is now enabled and will be available.
And, these were the first laps of the game on the day, so it really took me a few laps to get up to my pace. But anyway, now moving to lap 10, we've caught up to Perez, who you saw coming out of the pits. He must have had some early damage as well, but he had a bit of an issue with his car because he was 10 seconds ahead of us. He opened the gap when he came out of the pits, and then all of a sudden we've caught right up to him, and he's got a bit of an issue. And we have a look there into Stowe, and it just doesn't pay off for us. And he had I don't know what, some sort of engine issue, and we caught right up to him. Then as soon as we caught him, we had that one look at him at the stove, and he kind of just started pulling away from us again. So Perez's engine issues must have been fixed for this race, for this moment I mean. And as you can see, a few cars coming out of the pits. There's a Williams there, a McLaren and a Toro Rosso. So that is what we are probably looking to aim to catch up to today, and trying to beat those guys with 13 laps remaining, as you can see I accidentally pushed the wrong button there, and we just can't close in on Perez. And next lap into lap 12 he's in the pits, and so that is now P18 for Chris Romano. And now moving on to lap 17, we have finally caught up to the back of Sergei Sirotkin. These hard tyres, one thing I will say about them, they don't give a great amount of grip, but they are very consistently bad, but they're consistent. You can see the lap times are pretty much still improving all the time as we go up the inside here of Sergei Sorokin into Stowe. Make that P17 for Chris Romano. The one stop clearly the better strategy, but here Lance Stroll is a bit too far ahead. We did our best to try and catch him. That is it. That is the end of the British Grand Prix. A boring one here today for Romano. And now we'll hand it back to David Croft.
Just wasn't our day today.
For the conclusion to this Grand Prix at the British Grand Prix.
And Mercedes have pulled off a great victory here today. And I have to wonder, Anthony Davidson, just what set them apart from the competition here.
I feel like consistency was probably the key today. There's being quick, and then there's being quick lap after lap after lap. If you can do that, you can capitalise on other people's errors without making many of your own. And that's an approach that can push you a long way up the field.
And here are our podium drivers today after that excellent race. They've excelled here, as they so often do, and it's a well-deserved victory. Mercedes, then, are on top today. So then,
Valtteri Bottas has won the British Grand Prix today from Lewis Hamilton, coming in second by 5.2 seconds, and very close between Raikkonen and Hamilton, with Ricciardo fourth, Verstappen fifth, Sainz sixth, Hulkenberg seventh, Sebastian Vettel only finishing in eighth, not sure what happened to him, Ocon ninth, and Magnussen gets 1 point. Charles Leclerc 11th, Gasly 12th, Van Dorn 13th, Alonso 14th, Hartley 15th, Stroll 16th. We were P17. Sorokin 18th, Perez in 19th, and Grosjean did not finish in 20th. I believe he retired on the first lap of the Grand Prix. But yeah, that was the British Grand Prix today, guys. Mercedes back on top, using their performance advantage finally, it seems, with 2 race wins in a row. One for Hamilton, one for Bottas. Tell me your thoughts on what you thought of the incident between us and Magnussen. Not really much I could do. It is what it is. And really a boring race followed. Not much action, unfortunately. But now, after the race, we got some XP to use, 2,000 resource points, so we would use that on the chassis, the one part on the aero, and then another part on the power unit. So trying to upgrade all 3 areas to make this car as quick as possible. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Please leave a like, feedback your thoughts down in the comment section below, and most importantly, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.